Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Oh, man. You know, I had so many thumbnails I wanted to come up with, man. You know, when they talk about creative, man, I'm a creative in every sense of the word, man. And I had so many thumbnails. I had a plethora, a variety. Because, man, I wanted to put, man, boy, do these goalposts move. Listen, man, I got this new cream, man. It's more like a gel. It's more like it's like a KY jelly, you know what I'm saying? So that when people go to pick up these goalposts, you know what I'm saying, you just apply it liberally. And when people go to pick up these goalposts, they can't do it, you know what I'm saying? First of all, you shouldn't be lifting up all these goalposts in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna make me come out with a knee brace to go along with those knee pads. Because, man, just yesterday, man, Tim Tszyu was one of the baddest men on the planet, you know what I'm saying? Yesterday, man, less than 24 hours ago, maybe a little over, Tim Tszyu was one of the baddest men on the planet, according to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden today, oh man, Keith Thurman, man, he probably gonna be, oh man, why they do that? Oh man, I'm like, that's why it don't help y'all at all, man, when y'all like to move those goalposts, man, when it comes, because it's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people, man. Sometimes I wish I could clone myself, man, so I could just do all the work to be able to, you know what I'm saying, and capture what everybody was saying yesterday versus what everybody is saying today. I'm like, man, is you know, 2024, man, I think 2024, man, for many reasons is going to expose a lot of people. 2024 is going to expose a lot of people, man. It's going to expose a lot of people who like to get out their paintbrushes, you know what I'm saying, and paint those narratives. Those good old narratives. It's going to expose boxers who don't really want to fight each other. And that's what's alarming right now. Like I'm really like, I'm not, I try to be funny. I'll be funny. I have my little sarcasm and all that, but like, I'm concerned for the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? In all serious, like I know I joke around. You know, I try to mix in some sarcasm with some humor, and but I'm actually concerned for the sport of boxing, man. Like we were playing, and maybe because they say idle words. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't speak idle words. That's why I have over the years, I kind of allow myself to get a little bit more loose and play around because it's just certain things I never say or play around with. You know what I'm saying? But idle words, man. Idle words could come and bite us, man. I think over time we tend to sow seeds, man. And for the longest time, man, I'm guilty. I'm guilty because I think I said maybe 2.5 years ago, I said, man, boxing is looking like wrestling. I gotta go back through the videos, man. But I was saying that boxing is starting to look like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was younger, man, I finally realized that boxing wasn't real. It's like I lost all of my interest in it. I mean, when I learned that wrestling wasn't real. Like when I was young and I finally figured out that wasn't real and they was playing around, you know what I'm saying? And it was all for show. I was turned off. And, sometimes it's like I'm the type of person where I don't make content unless I'm, in the up and up and I feel good about it. If I just feel like boxing is just disappointing me and it's just all crazy, I don't even make content, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put nothing out there with that, you know what I'm saying? I know I get hyper or I vent, about boxing, but I'm really concerned, man, because fighters are really showing that they don't really want to fight each other. We get all these mixed signals and, it just, excuse me, it's just getting rough out here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep going over that definition, man, all the time. I keep going over here in my last couple lives because I think it's important. And they say that repetition is the key to learning. Ain't that what they say? Do it until you get it right. I think Mike said, "Don't stop till you get enough." I mean, let me stay focused because it's interesting, man. But in the vein of what I do, you know what I'm saying, I figure I get on here and chop it up, man, and just once again, even if it's just the old bookmark. But psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, it causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perception of reality, or memories, and typically lead to confusion, loss of confidence and self-esteem, uncertainty of one's emotional or mental stability, and dependency on the perpetrator. Gaslighting can be a very effective tool for the abuser to control an individual. Is done slowly so the victims writes off the event as one off or oddity and doesn't realize they are being controlled and manipulated. You know what I'm saying? The act or practice of grossly misleading someone, especially for one's own advantage. Dang. So when people start playing with your memory, acting like, you know what I'm saying, you don't remember something that happened, you know what I'm saying? Because just yesterday, I try and tell y'all, man, people were talking about Tim Tszyu like he was one of the baddest man on the planet. I was like, man, I had to bring up Terrell Goucher. You know what I'm saying? I had to bring up Terrell Goucher, and I had to go over the history of Brian Mendoza, and I had to go over the history of, how Tony Harrison was, and what he was going through, and how that wasn't a marquee Tony Harrison. You know what I'm saying? But just yesterday, man, they were waving that flag for Tim Tszyu, and they was all up in arms. And today, Tim Tszyu ain't nothing because he fighting Keith Thurman. And I'm like, this is what I was saying. That's just like this whole after the victory, how they try to say, oh, they wouldn't let Rudolph play in any of the reindeer games over at PBC, trying to paint somebody like they were Rudolph and they couldn't play in any of the reindeer games. It's like, Yeah, y'all playing reindeer games for real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing. I don't know if you ever see the movie, but those are some reindeer games. You know what I'm saying? Those are some manipulation tactics. Those are some things that you want to do because you want control. And the more and more I listen and I get the pulse of boxing, I realize that, a lot of people just want attention. I think that's the new drug. You know what I'm saying? Attention is the new drug. But I'm concerned, man, because once boxers reach a certain plateau, they feel as though, yeah, I don't really have to fight anybody or whatever. And it's like, okay, whatever. I'm not fighting that person. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But still garner the credit for being the biggest and the baddest. And I'm like, man, these options right now, if you look at it, these options, they dwindling over there. And I'm not an only fan, but as a Bud fan and a fan of Boots and a fan of Errol Spence, I have a question. Will you consider fighting Boots now, Bud? Or are we going to get the rematch between Errol Spence? And then my priority is rematch Errol Spence or go ahead and give Boots a shot. We were talking about karma, man. I already spoke about karma and how, you left Spence at the altar and now Spence, went and had his surgery. Don't know what's going on with the contract. I keep getting missed messages. You know what I'm saying? And I'm concerned. Salute the ghosts in the building. I think Bud gonna wait for the rematch with Errol Spence. It doesn't make sense for him to go down because he already got stripped for going up to 154. And if he wins against Boots, he'll get stripped again. Did he write back in the chat? Ghost says he'll be stripped again once he gets the rematch. I mean, I think that I really think that it's more. I mean, it was his belt. If he wanted it, he could have kept it. You know what I'm saying? He just had to fight him. So if he's gonna fight him and get stripped again, I think that really when I listen to their camp, mainly when I listen to their camp, like mainly like Bernie, when I chime in, when I look at and whatever I can tolerate, when I look in on him and he doing this little thing, it's like they're trying to be real creative in ways to be able to say who's ever done that before in history. So in the grand scheme of things, fighting Boots, if he were to get that belt again, being undisputed again, that would be history, right? I think we kind of got to get creative, you know what I'm saying, to try to satisfy Bud's, new appetite. And for one, I just think, man, when I look at and listen to some of these boxers and I hear them talking and I hear the passion and they be talking about, some of them will kind of give you that energy like they still had the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, man. Like when you was still lacing them up, was it a stone that you left unturned? You know what I'm saying? Or was that something you're gonna want to deal with for years to come? Like you know what I'm saying, in the long haul and years to come, is that something you really gonna want to talk about? Because I was saying that about Bud and Spence. I was like, man, Bud, if you don't come back, you know what I'm saying, and make this happen and y'all get this thing underway, you don't want to be in retirement being asked that question all over and over again. If you don't ever fight Boots, man, they always gonna ask him that question, man. And I can see Bud getting kind of reclusive as the time go on, you know what I'm saying? Especially after he get, his bag or a bag or two, and he get what he really want. He make the amount of money he want walking out the door. He get to keep his O. You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna get real reclusive, and whenever he come out, people are always gonna terrorize him with that question of why you really ain't never fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? It goes back in there. Thanks for rocking with me. I think if Boots and Matias can't get a fight, they should fight each other at 145 on the catch weight without putting the belts on the line, like a stay busy fight, but a good one. You see my video, I said, man, why not? I was thinking about that today, man. I was about to double back down on that, man. Nobody would lose in that fight. I mean, unless somebody, you know what I'm saying, like, unless something tragic happened, you know what I'm saying, like, unless something tragic happened in that fight, nobody would lose. But I was, you know, thinking along those same lines. I was thinking along them same lines, man. I'm like, I'm just interested. I'm like, get their names out there more. I mean, to me, it you know, I don't know how much the bag is. I know if you advertise that fight, you know what I'm saying? If you advertise that fight, right, I think if you build it, they will come when it comes down to that fight. I think that will be a war for 12. I really, you know, I think something gonna show up in that fight, man. And I was trying to say in my video, I found myself, because sometimes, and this happens, especially as a Tank fan, this happens, man. This happened to me a lot as a Tank fan. Like, I found myself not arguing with Subriel fans, but some Subriel fans, I put out a point, and then some people get too possessive and aggressive, so then you find yourself arguing. It's like, hold on, man, we both pulling for that dude. I'm just saying this. That's why I ask people, hey, man, who you trying to protect? That's a neutral question. You know what I'm saying? So if I was a promoter and I say, hey, man, I'm about to, man, don't nobody want to fight. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fight my two top dogs. 2 out of 3 of my 2 top dogs on my boogeyman list, they don't want to fight. I'm about to put them against each other. Oh man, why, you know, why, I mean, what they got to offer? Why they got it? That don't make no sense. It's like, man, listen, man, people are ducking and dodging these two. People are ducking and dodging Boots. They ducking and dodging Subriel. It's like, what? Like, why not? It don't seem too far-fetched for me. They both stay in and around there, walk around weight. Why not? You know, y'all 2 good names. That'll be a fight. That'll be a good fight. But a lot of on the Subriel side, a lot of people saying, you know why he need to stay and collect 40, and a lot of people saying, man, Boots, man, he should be at 54. Now, I also said that's another option for Boots as well, to go up to 54. You know, I'm starting to hear that being echoed a lot here lately. Go ahead and go. You know, some people kicking against the pricks. They refuse to see it. But y'all, we got to realize that boxing is changing, man. Boxing is going Hollywood. Boxing is like, it's already a niche market, but it's almost like you can literally hear people saying, like, you can literally hear people speaking and like they quacking. I swear I heard somebody quacking the other day. Like, I swear somebody was like, yeah, I'm not going to be fight. Quack, quack. I was like, yeah, like, in my mind, I said, people, is that Howard the Duck? Like, people are getting weird, man. Like, boxing is getting weird. It's like, now you can't be critical. Everything got to be messy. Everything got to be drama filled. It's like, you can't just ask for a good fight. You know what I'm saying? You can't just ask for a good fight, man. I think some people are actually fleeing to other things, man. Some people are fleeing to other. Matias, powerful and real strong with a great chin, and Javante got a great counterpunch with power. I was suggesting that. Leonard Ellaby came out and dashed those dreams. You know, it's a lot being interpreted about some things that Coach Calvin said. And I'm privy to, you know, I don't know how to look at it. You know what I'm saying? David Gonzalez, Bud should fight against Charlo or Danny Garcia and fight against the winner of Thurman versus Tszyu. Yeah, but remember Bud came out, he said he didn't want to fight Thurman and Garcia and Danny. You know what I'm saying? And Danny, I mean, I think, all due respect, man, Danny been rapping and doing mixtapes and doing music, and you know what I'm saying? He just, like, at this point, I mean, like, when you talking about, I guess I'm too much of a hardcore. I expect, even though the Spencer and Bud fight didn't turn out to look like it was gonna be the way it was billed. I mean, I just like I like the creme de la creme. I like when elite fight the elite. I'm, I can't, as a boxing fan, man. I think boxing fans have a lot of turnover. Ghost, Bud versus Danny, a real good fight, but I got boots by KO, like round 8. I don't know, man. I think Danny at that age, man, when you look at that whole age group, if you look at it, when you look at Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they all in that same age bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, if you're not in there and you're active, see, that's why Bud has been, I mean, he stay active. He stay active. And he's always with the young guys, showing the young guys stuff, and I think that kind of helped because he does train and he stays active. I'm really not interested in seeing none of these guys like in the ring. I'm not hating on getting the bag. I'm really not interested in seeing these guys get in the ring when they ain't fought. I'm not. Like, you can't boxing, you can't turn it on and off, man. You can't. David Gonzalez or Bud versus Charlo, and the winner gets the fight against the winner of Thurman versus Tszyu. I mean, the only other option we should be talking about is Jamel and Bud. But Bud, that's what I be understanding. Like, that's why I say, okay, this is where I draw the line between being a fan and being an only fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? As a fan, that's one thing, but then an only fan is another thing. Like, an only fan is like extreme. I don't know why this color is tweaking me. I gotta change that. I gotta handle that, man. Guess that's just how it is, man. We're gonna have to roll like that, bro. Like, my whole thing is this, man. Like, when you be following it, you know what I'm saying? You be going along, you be watching the soap opera like every day. You tune in, you know what I'm saying? You can't help yourself, but when you do that, I remember right before the Spence fight, and then when you look at the Spence fight, Bud was talking out to Charlo. They had already had moments where, Jamel Charlo went viral when he was like, take a little less money, humble yourself, all that stuff. When he had that viral moment, it was like Bud was like, hey, I'm full steam ahead. He said, I'm full steam ahead. With Jamel, that's what was next. So realistically, I don't know where Tszyu came from. I mean, I don't know. We don't know what's going on with Jamel, but we never heard anything. But before we could even hear anything, because of the performance that Mel put in there with Canelo, Bud was like, he didn't even want that fight no more. I'm like, granted, you know what I'm saying? Jamel had a loss. He had a draw. He had been let his O go, and I think that it was by decision against Tony Harrison when he got, when the judges, rendered their judgment. But at the same time, I mean, Jamel, I still got him as a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He went up there and not to even get off into the whole Canelo thing. Whatever happened up there with him and Canelo, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Nobody holds it against Canelo Alvarez when he went up there and he got spanked by Bivol. I'm talking about spanked by Bivol. Nobody hold that over his head. But you got a lot of people saying Mel ain't this, Mel ain't that. You know, after that, but Bud was able to get off that line. He was able to get off that hook for Mel, and the OnlyFans were justifying it. I was saying, hold on now, like that's why I say it ain't no. That's why if we're not gonna have any accountability for certain fighters, we can't have accountability. We can't force accountability on none of them. That just means you just like a lot of people come on just to argue. I think you know what I'm saying. We're not really getting to any solutions. David Gonzalez, I think that Boots should go up to 154 because nobody wants to fight him or try to fight against Stan Giannis at 147. Stan Giannis is a great fight. You know what I'm saying? I think Stan Giannis, man, I want to see him. Like, I thought maybe Stan Giannis and Keith Thurman would be good. But you know what I'm saying? I just want to see, man, like what are Bud fans saying? Like on the OnlyFans. Like the ones who just only like Bud over everybody, don't say nothing, Bud. It's Canelo or nothing. It's what are Bud fans saying? Where's Bud stops Canelo at, man? Where you at? Chime in. Bud stops Canelo. Come on in and let me know, man. Like, let me know what's going on. Speak to me on behalf. Speak to me on behalf of Bud, man, in the camp, because I was like, ouch. You know what I'm saying? That was almost like egg on the face a little bit, man. Like, and I think that's more appropriate for Tim Tszyu, but we don't know what version of Keith Thurman we gonna get. I think he has been training. I do think he has been training. Behind the scenes, I think he's been training. But ain't nothing like getting in that ring. A lot of people saying Boots gonna get Barrios. What's the answer for Hey, I hope Hitchin not sleeping on Lemos because his defense is not the best, but he's willing to take a punch to give his, he can crack. What you think? Yeah, I seen him, like, if he land one of them things, he land one, because one of them, like with them boxers that kind of them boxers that know how to roll and all that, like with the good ones, when they finally catch up to you and they hit you, that thing might catch you right on the tip of your chin. And if it land with that velocity Lemos is going, and especially if he land one of them body shots. But yeah, I think Hitchens know that. You know what I'm saying? He's a student of the game. I give him that. He studied these boxers, and I see some different stuff. I see a little bit of Bud in Hitchens. You know, I see a little bit of Shakur in Hitchens. I see a little bit of Devin in Hitchens. But I really think once he go to 47, that's when we really gonna see who Hitchens is. I don't like that he if you can't do the rehydration for the IBF thing, then man, it might be a signal that you should go ahead and go to 47. What better time? It'd be a good time if you asked me to go to 47 right now. I would go to 47 right now. I would even, man. If I was Sabril, I'd be looking up there like, you know what I'm saying? My style is my style. You know what I'm saying? A couple pounds. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's just a couple pounds for real, in the grand scheme of things. His dimensions are a lot closer to a lot of them guys. He's not like a short guy with short arms and all that. He got, you know, some dimensions that allow him to be able to work. And then, you know, whatever little bit of weight he got to cut, he won't really even have to cut nothing. You know, I mean, you know, we already know he got a punch resistance. I like Bud and Boots, but I really think the difference in that fight might be the stamina. Bud seemed to slow down a little around round 6. The fight, I think the fight will be interesting, man, because I think that a lot of the skills and things that Bud have, he trains and all that, but I think that Bud is one of them people that when them big bright lights come on and he in the ring, it's like he ain't even like consciously thinking. I don't really know if he's really consciously thinking. I think something take over, man, in the fight. So we ain't gonna really know until Bud get in there and that pressure is on and like it's on, like that's when we gonna see it. You know, he's known to rise to the top. You know, he might be a little bit vulnerable, but I don't know. I don't even know how Boots would attack him. But word on the street is that Boots do everything better than Bud. You know, and the argument is would Bud have stopped that dude Karan Chukagian? Karan Chukagian. They said Matias is natural at the way he eats full meals before the fight and the day before too. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he ain't struggling at all. I think Mr. Gary Antoine Russell like that too. They don't be hurting, man. You know, that's the way to be. That's why I think the proof is in the pudding. That's why they're so good, man, because they don't got to do all that extra stuff. They living and walking and doing whatever they doing in their normal life. That's they fighting at that same, like, you ain't got to cut, whatever percentage off and have to worry about all that. When you start noticing them fighters that walk around close to their fight weight, man, it's a difference. And especially when they got some skills, it's a difference. And it shows up. But man, this will probably be a dry one, man. I wanted to hear from I kind of wanted to hear from some Bud only fans, man. I wanted somebody to come in and just let me know, man. Tell me the logic, man, because man, I know being an only fan is exhausting because y'all changed like the wind. I think skill-wise, Boots is better than Bud, but does he got the IQ of Bud? See, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different because I don't like Boots' punch resistance. Has that really ever been like tested out to the max? You know, will age show up in that ring for Bud? There's a lot of variables on there, man. So when somebody can switch, just like you can switch, and they switch because they know that you are more comfortable fighting this and that way, and it's a chess match, a real chess match. They can do it in real time with reflexes, just like you, but younger. You know what I'm saying? I might give Bud the power. I definitely give Bud the power advantage. Tactically, I don't know, because Boots got a punch variety, man, that's out of this world. He got shots that he got a unique set of skills. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we got to see on fight night. Yeah, that's what we got to see. But Boots got a unique set of skills, and he's young, but, I don't think Bud chin great because I've seen him hurt against little fighters like Gamboa. Yeah, he can get caught. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't put him out of there, he's one of them ones where you clip him right, he going to go off. That's what I'm saying about as far as, that's what I think got to happen. Like, Bud, once he get hit or get dropped, he take over. And that could be to his detriment. You know what I'm saying? But he typically take over and he be so dialed in, he always, finish the job. And to Bud's credit, this is a real stat. Everybody at 47, he stopped. That's a real, like, regardless what was wrong with him or what happened, that's the track record, man. Is it the fact he don't want to risk that? That's a nice streak. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to jeopardize that? That's the same line of thinking of when somebody was at 35 for all those years. And once they got that thing, I said, man, they're not gonna, after getting that and having defended that and eking by with that, they're not gonna risk that at all to put a blemish on that, because that can cap 35 and boom, whatever you can say, they can say, oh, we're at 35, he was the man because he never lost, he never, not factoring in a whole bunch of other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, you know, I respect the man's decision. If he decide he gonna walk away or all he wants is Canelo, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, like, at some point in time, you should be able to demand from the fighter that you rock with to fight somebody that you want him to fight. You shouldn't be subject to just always getting whatever they give you. That goes for all of the fighters. ALL. That means all of the fighters that put on a pair of gloves, man. That goes for all of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point in time, we should be able to ask our guys, like, hey, man, you know, somebody we want. And people, I think people get mad that people resonate with Errol more. They resort to the whole skill deficit that they say that it's. The first time I ever heard Errol say that, like, when he said, yeah, you might be more skilled than me, I was looking like, Errol, why would you say that out loud? But that's just Errol. And then that's why people like Errol. He just real and truthful. And Errol gave his fans what he wanted, man. That's why I'm like, the man deserve a rematch. Whether he go in there and get waxed again, that's his option. and Bud is a bad man, so if he get waxed again, oh well. But that, like, either give Spence that rematch. It's like that movie when he was like, I curse you, Dinar. It's like, man, till you get that man his rematch, man, like, it don't look like it's gonna go the way you think it is, man. Like, I don't think it's gonna go the way they think it is, man. People don't really understand when you're a natural at a weight, your body just responds different and more efficient. Yeah, like think about when you lose weight and you go do pull-ups and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You do way better when you closer to your regular weight. Like, you ain't got no extra weight on you. It get easy. Push-ups, pull-ups, all that stuff is easy. I still like Errol. I didn't care about his loss, to be honest. I don't know about his loss, to be honest. Sometimes you lose. You know, you never want to see your guy go down like that. I was more concerned that he was all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, okay. I was, you know, even just to have the conversation about what might have been going on with him. It's like, you know, people just always think that it's you just twisting the knife in somebody's side, even if that's not what you're doing. It's like, what if you're a fan of that fighter and you want to make sure that man, you know what I'm saying? He gave boxing fans a lot of good times. He gave boxing fans, like, he put on for his fans. Like, he's a fans type fighter. You know what I'm saying? He'll give you what you want. Errol, listen, and he take everything in consideration. He will. I think that Keith Thurman thing, you know, maybe he could have let that go or should have let that go. It was just right not to do it. A lot of people in hindsight were like, oh, he should have fought Keith Thurman. You know, but it's just different strokes for different folks, man. I think, you know, I don't know, man. Is anything gonna go right for Bud, man, if he don't Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't care about the loss. Right. I got you. I figured that's what you were saying. You can't really take away his achievements. He earned them and worked for it. Why not Canelo a legacy fight? Why are Spence fans so fixated on Boots fight? Weird behavior. We're not, bro. Like, you sound triggered, man. We not fixated on it. I'm just like what else? Like, I don't know, man. You want to explain to us, like, how is that gonna happen? You just gonna wait for him? You just gonna wait for him? He just gonna wait for Canelo. Cause they talking about Canelo might get the winner of this Ryder Munguia thing, or Charlo. He ain't doing Benavidez, and he already came out and said that he wasn't he wasn't interested in Bud. Like, as a Bud fan, that's why I put this up there, because I wanted to hear from Bud fan, the only fans. I wanted to hear from the Bud only fans, like the ones who only rock with Bud. It's Bud over everybody. You're boxing monogamous, and you only like Bud. That's who I wanted to hear from. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So, who is he gonna, like, are y'all willing to wait? That means we shouldn't even be doing any more videos about Bud or whatever, like, really, right? We should just not even promote him no more. Because he just want Canelo, that's it. I mean, Canelo too big, Charlo bigger than Bud, and he looks shocked. And Canelo be fighting them big dudes like Bivol and Kovalev. You think Bud gonna hurt him? I mean, why Boots not saying nothing? Just his fans. Tell Boots to say he'll knock Bud out. What is Boots gonna do? Just wait on Bud? But this is what I'm asking you, man. Like, this is the challenge when I'm talking to y'all. And I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you be showing up, man. I appreciate it. But you're helping me. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't rationally online. I can't talk to, like, some of y'all. But why is it always a deflection? Like, we just sat here and we chopped it up about how Bud should fight Matias. We chopped it up about how Boots should fight Matias. That could be an option. Me and Ghost was in here talking about that. And then, you know what I'm saying, we were talking about maybe him moving up to 154. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying he need to get up to 154. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm asking is, because I'm a fan too. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm some people were Team Bud. Some people were Team Spence. Some people were like them both, but when they picked, they drew their line in the sand. We talking to the people who drew their line in the sand and stayed on the other side over there with Bud. Why is it always like deflection when you ask, okay, if you single it out, like if somebody came by and say, hey man, what Tank gonna do next? And I couldn't use nobody else. I just had to say what Tank was gonna do next. Why can't you ever get an OnlyFans to just tell us what Bud gonna do next? You say wait on Canelo. So we're just supposed to wait on him to fight Canelo, and Canelo say he's never gonna do it. The same way he said to Andre. So as a fan, we should just stop even worrying about what he got going on. Like, should we just stop worrying about what he got going on? We can't even ask him. That's why I say it's offensive to ask him to fight somebody that's in his current weight division, man. It's offensive. It's just, I don't know, man. That's just, I guess some of us are different, man. When people be like, oh man, Shakur beat the shit out of Tank and all that, that's not offensive to me. I'm like, hey, if Tank go in there and underestimate him, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? If they were in their tip-top shape after everything I seen, if I draw a line in the sand, I'm gonna be on this side. But I rock with this dude too. It's the same thing. But we're not allowed to ask or say, hey man, like, we paid for the fights, man. Like, some of the people that been going hard and talking the most trash, I guarantee you I probably spent and supported more than they do, man. But why is it always a sin to ask these dudes? Like, it's just like a sin to ask. It's a sin to ask Devin why you skip out on Sabril. To ask Devin to fight Boots. Because I'm the same guy that's asking Devin to fight Boots. So you talking to somebody that's different. I see it, but it's a sin for me to ask Devin to fight Matias, Devin to fight Boots, Devin to fight Bud. When you talking about, when you number 1 pound for pound, when you number 4 pound for pound, Well, you're number 5 pound for pound. Like when everybody on a whole bunch of different lists got you like that high pound for pound, why is it a cardinal sin to ask you to face the apex predators? I like Bud too. Give me your reason how he beats Canelo. At Bud gonna stop Canelo. Bud and Bernie told him what to do and he refuses to do it. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing. You put 100 emoji on that. That's a real thing. You try to tell me Boots really got to get disrespectful to get a fight with Bud. Like he got to come out and say something ratchet. Hey man, you know it's a lot of people that look up to that man, and if you know that's why I was when Canelo was making all those funny moves, I said I was the main one saying, man, y'all gonna let Canelo make all these funny moves. But you know, since he the money man and he moved like that and people esteem him that highly, he's gonna cause people to follow after him. Just like how I think a lot of people get it misconstrued with Floyd because they didn't want to live the lifestyle that Floyd lived as far as boxing life. But they want the money and they want the notoriety associated with it. So they play these little formulas and for a little while they be clicking, but then they don't want the life, they don't live the lifestyle. But in the pursuit to try to be like Floyd, you got a whole bunch of people that's trying to do what Floyd did, but not do what Floyd did. And you creating that. So we're creating something to where now, as these young boxers know, you're gonna see these young boxers saying, "Oh man, you really want to fight me? Say something out, say something crazy." I mean, we all know what words can lead to, man. We all know what words can lead to, man. That stuff is toxic, man. I don't really think nobody should have to get too disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like just to get a fight. But hey. You learn something new every day. Like you really confirming this because I've heard this several times. Canelo didn't say that. The media putting pressure on him now, but why won't y'all tell Boots to say he'll knock Bud out to get the fight? Real question. Did you see my video? I did a video saying talk dirty. I was like, man, I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? But they saying this is what you got to do to get a fight. I was like, you did it classy. But they're saying this is what you got to do to get a fight. If you really want it, that fight getting ready to slip out of his reach. But if you get disrespectful, it's going to look bad if Boots come out of line. He say something out of pocket. He get disrespectful and then Bud still don't fight him. But I had a video about that. It just came out the other day. It didn't get a lot of views. It didn't get the views I normally get. It was a little, you know what I'm saying? But I just had to put out a benchmark to say, hey, man, maybe this is true. Just say, hell, knock Bud out. That's it. Yo, just say he'll knock Bud out. That's it. Bud don't tolerate no disrespect. He gonna pull up. Boots is a nobody. So if he want it, he got to get out of line. Bud told him. Okay. A body work. How you feel about Bud versus Fundora? Something different, but could be fight of the year. Just a thought. Nah. I think Bud's IQ is too much. Bud's IQ is too high, man. I ain't trying. Look, I'm one of the ones to say I know the history, man. I'm not giving Bud a layup, man. I'm not just giving him another layup, man. Like, I'm not gonna go down the history because people don't like the history. And when you factually prove, like what Teofimo Lopez said, I went through a video and factually proved it. I was on here. I went down the list. We went down the timelines, the resumes. We went over everybody in their condition and their state beforehand. I'm not trying to toss another layup. And that's why I don't understand, like, on the contrary, I just don't understand why people hate Spence so much. Why do people hate Spence so much when he was the one that no matter what, y'all do realize that Spence didn't pull a Ryan Garcia. He didn't. The ref had to come in and, hey, man, enough. That's enough. Like, the ref had to come in and say that. Was that not the 9th round? He lasted 9 rounds like that. And he wants to do it again. See, that's the spirit. But everybody hate that guy. That's what I don't get. Everybody hate that guy that will give his fans whatever they want. Even to his detriment to a certain extent. That's why I was saying, hey man, move on, salvage your career, go do something else, go up to 54. What I see for Bud, what I would see a good fight for Bud is you got Erickson Lubin up there. If you was gonna fight Tim Tszyu, why not see a Lubin? Lubin has been around, you know what I'm saying? Lubin been around. He's battle tested. He's proven. 54, because in all honesty, man, I didn't understand why Tim Tszyu was getting all the praise, because Jermell Charlo, like when you talking about cleaning out a division, Jermell Charlo literally like cleaned out that division. Like literally like went around and like cleaned it out. We haven't seen nobody thoroughly do that since who in the division and become undisputed, where you really cleaned out the division. Because Devin didn't do that at 35, even though people give him credit for getting undisputed. One bout with Kambosos and you undisputed. He didn't clean it out. He didn't clear it out. Spence was on his way. It was kind of close to say Spence was, and he got 3 straps in the process. Ran in the bud. Okay. Reset button. But if he would have got that, you could literally say that Errol would have cleaned it out. We can't ask certain fighters just to do anything, man. It's like, man, I guess boxing is starting to become unappealing, man, because you can't even ask certain boxers to do anything, man. You can't get nothing from them, man. They just want you to just pay your money and buy their t-shirt and come see them and, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, promote them. And you can't ask somebody. That's what I'm starting to get tired of it. That's why I'm shifting. I'm shifting and putting energy into these boxers who want to fight each other, who moving like they bought that action, who moving like they box, that they want to box, that they're addicted to boxing. I'm starting to hear interviews with fighters. They don't even know. Sometimes they don't even know who. Some of the times they act, well, at least they act like they don't even know who in their division now. I'm like, man, this ain't like how it was back in the day. I wouldn't say Boots or nobody. Who would you like Boots against for a stay busy fight? Because it looks like Earl going to heal, and it looks like the fight with Boots won't happen. I'll get back to that, Ghost. Yeah, people disrespect Charlo, but the real top champ, he only lost to Canelo, and that's understandable. Bud want to be undisputed in another weight class, not just fight at 54 or 68. He want legacy. I got you. And salute Andre Smith, man. Salute, man. Thanks for showing. But Boots, you know, I want Stanionis for Boots. You know what I'm saying? I thought that Stanionis, I kind of think he need a get back fight. But why not Speedy Rashidi? What happened to Speedy? You know what I'm saying? Just because Speedy lost to Villa, I mean, I think Speedy need a get back fight. But there's some names out there. I'm not high on the Cody Crowley guy. I see anybody with elite level talent like just blasting them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Boots, he got a right to just grab a body. You know what I'm saying? Just grab a body, Boots. Like I was saying the other day, just grab a body, put on the demonstration. You know what I'm saying? Slap somebody silly. But Boots, man, Boots need to holler at Jermell, man, and ask him, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Charlo lost to Harrison, to not just Canelo, and he had a draw. I said that, bro. I said he had 1 loss and 1 draw, and then he went up there and lost to Canelo. I said that. I said he got robbed on the scorecard against Tony Harrison. Because a lot of people felt like, you know what I'm saying, they felt like that was a decision that that should have been warranted to Jermell. You know what I'm saying? When I look at it, That draw, you could say that he lost. If you could argue either way with that draw. You could argue either way. We wouldn't have to have a knockdown drag out if you said it either way. But still, what do that mean? This is what I'm saying. And you helping me out because you helping me understand the mindset of certain fans now. And this is what we be saying about if somebody take a loss or have a draw or whatever, like when that happens, you know that meant that it was a competitive, like in that manner. When the judges render it and it's on that matter and it's just that close, you know that means that was a competitive fight, right? You know that means that was competitive, but because you got a loss on your record or you had a draw on your record, so what? Because they put the Iceman, they put Malik Iceman Hawkins in there with Subriel Matias early. They had him in there with Richardson Hitchens early. There's some people in their whole career would never fight Subriel Matias and Richardson Hitchens. And you in the teens with fights. So what do that mean? Because he lost to them guys, he can't fight? I think if he had adequate resources and he didn't have to worry about surviving out here, and he had, you know what I'm saying, he was able to get some bread and he was able to focus on boxing, man, he'll be better than a lot of these dudes out here right now. Haven't gotten in the ring with them. But now fans are just like, oh man, he had a loss. He had a loss or he had a draw. What do that mean? Like, I mean, it's new. This is new, man. It's like, I guess it's a new mentality. I was talking to Ghost, but for sure, okay. I think Haney will be forced to face Sandor because Sandor already took step away money for Haney versus Prograis, and the winner would have to face him. Yeah, I think he is gonna fight Sandor probably. You know what I'm saying? I respect fighters that take the risk even if they lose because they can always bounce back, like Charlo, Mike Tyson, Ali, all the greats. You know what's starting to happen to me? What's starting to happen to me is I'm starting to hear so many excuses. I'm talking about all different kinds. Oh, we best friends. So we got to come up with our excuse list, man. I remember. Now listen. I've been around for a little while watching this stuff, but I remember when I'm talking about some notable channels, was pushing for Errol Spence to fight Jermell Charlo. And you ask, why were they asking that, Mike? Because Bud wasn't coming in. He wasn't trying to come in at the point. He was out there. He had that WBO, but he was not trying to come in. Earl was on a mission to get, after Sean Porter, Earl was on a mission to get that other strap, the WBA. He was on a mission to get that WBA to close out the show to get that WBO. Nobody else was really trying to go get that WBA. If y'all recall, the whole Ugas and Pacquiao, but before that it was Ugas and Jamal James. Ugas and Jamal James, Ugas and Pacquiao, and that was only because Earl and Pacquiao didn't work. But it was a lot of people that was pushing to say, I don't see why, since he want to go up to 54, he might well go up there and fight Jermell. I was just like, how is that going to work when the trainer is Derrick James? Oh man, hey, they don't need Derrick James. It was all these excuses. But now people can say, oh, we BFFs. We don't ever have to fight for the rest of our careers. Like, what? That's a legit excuse now. Last year, I seen somebody turn down $1 million and a title shot. Boxing is starting to confuse me, man. I don't know what we want as fans, and I don't know what we're condoning as fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting not to even care no more, man. All I'm saying is Bud want legacy, but if Boost want to get in the way of that, he gotta say he'll knock Bud out. Why is that so hard for him to say? Why is him or nobody want to tell him to say it? He's scared. You know, I think to a certain extent, I think Boots ain't. I think he's like that in the ring, but I think in general, I think he just like a respectful guy. He ain't like, I mean, for everything I know and seen from him, I don't really think he like that. I mean, that's okay. I understand. I'm gonna fall back on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ask the OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? I'll still do my videos about it, but I understand it. I get your point now. Frank Martin turned down that M and a title shot. LOL. And if you say anything about it, they be like, F your couch. You know what I'm saying? Friends is a lame excuse. Look at Ward and Gotti. Best friends. Great. War. I mean, but we starting the list of things of why it's starting to be a long list. And then people, but it's crazy because when people really want to see a fight or when they want to take a dig at a certain boxer, they'll act like promotional companies and all that kind of stuff don't exist. It's like, I'll give you an example. Everybody was making fun because Floyd, you know, in his beef, you know what I'm saying? Floyd, when him and Tank was going at it, right? Floyd came out and was basically like, you keep playing, I'm gonna make you fight Loma or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, and they bring that up to this day. And I'm like, okay, well, at that point in time, who was big and who was little? Wasn't Loma the big and Tank was the little? So technically, wouldn't Loma be the A? Because all this A-side talk today, it's like in that instance, right? Loma would have been the A-side in that point. So how is the onus on Tank? If Bob and them had the money and Loma really wanted to do it, and we know how Bob and Loma rode shotgun, how you know how he loves some Loma. He loves some Loma, man. He gave Loma a title shot early, gave him another bite at the apple right away. But in that situation, when we look at it, people love to talk about how Floyd supposedly clowned Tank for that. And people use that to this day. Oh man, you know Tank ducked Loma. They run with that because of that. But at that point in time, if Loma was the big fish and Tank was just, you know, the new guy on the block, because at that point in time, you would say Loma had the bigger name, right? One out, they weren't in the same division. And wouldn't Loma have been the A side? So why ain't no onus on that? But you fast forward today, because Tank would be the one, the bag, and the one that could make all the decisions. Now, he can transcend all of the boundaries and all the barriers. Like people really out here acting like these people, these other promotional companies are out here really willing to risk their investments in these guys. Like some of these guys are not willing to put these guys in there with those guys. They'll tell them, say his name as much as possible and, you know what I'm saying, drum it up and get on social media and go crazy and build it all up, knowing damn well they ain't gonna let them out. They behind that fence with a lock on it and a chain around the gate. But it's all the ace now. But in today's present day and time, it's the A side's fault. It's the A side. Oh man, you know, man, and everybody just, it's a talk about, oh man, we're never going to see. He don't want to fight this. It's like, how do you deduct that? We can read minds now. I mean, there's no cursing or nothing. This the fight game. All that nice guy stuff don't get you nowhere. You see how Bud. But I'm saying, didn't Tszyu? He came at him, but why is Tszyu not a good fight? Because by your logic, now Tszyu beat Lomachenko before Devin Haney. Moved up to 40 before. I mean, he went and beat Richard Comey, got his belt, took all of Loma's belts when he beat him. That was it. He moved up. Well, he lost to Kambosos. He moved up. He fought 2 fights and then fought Josh Taylor. He beat him. He wanted to move up again because it was okay when Bud, because I remember a long time ago, it was heavy talks that Josh Taylor was going to move from 40 to 47 and fight Bud. That was all open, all up for grabs. But by an OnlyFans logic, it's okay that Bud wants to move from 47 to 54. Because now Tszyu got a belt. But he got a belt the same way that Boots got a belt. That's okay for him to move up. And we warned that that's all he wants because he wants to move up. But we call Tszyu plumb crazy for wanting to go from 40 to 47. And he's calling out the top guy. And y'all saying, knock it off, go somewhere. If he's easy work, and you like get a bag and spike his little ass if that's but he can't do it. He can't ask it. It ain't right for him to do that. I'm trying to understand the logic so I could work. I'm trying to understand the logic. I don't get it. But Tszyu real small next to Boots. Don't that look a certain way though? He talked crazy to Tszyu, but not Boots. Might have to read that again, Ghost. But Tszyu real small next to Boots. Don't that look a certain way though? He talked crazy to Tszyu, but not Boots. Tszyu a good fight. Bud smoke him easy. If Boots talk like Tszyu, he gonna get that work. Okay. All right. I feel you on saying Bud gonna stop Tszyu, but why he doesn't have the same energy with Boots? I'm back. My bad, y'all. That was they must have booted me off for a second, man. I might have hit that no spot. But why should he have to say that? He already said he wants to smoke with Bud. That should be enough. Also, Bud seemed like a cool dude. He say, I got 1,000 on Bud if Boots ever say the magic words and they fight. Nah, that's cool, but I don't think it's that easy of a fight like you making it seem. So y'all keep making excuses for him not to do the one thing that Bud himself told him to do. Bring the boss he told him to do it, and he'll get the fight, but he won't do it. I get you. I mean, if that's what it is, that's why I said, man, I had already jumped the gun on that. I told Boots, I said, hey, man, you might got to talk dirty. I'm ashamed to say that that's what you might have to do, but I said that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I guess Boots got to do it. I mean, I guess we can't beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? That's just, man, I guess being one of them kind of fans, man, I know it's a lot of Bud only fans that are also Devin only fans. Like, whatever they do, they accept it. Like, whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? They accept it. Y'all want it, Boots don't. I don't think it would serve Bud good to wait longer because he's on the older side. I ain't making an excuse, dog. Yeah, it just gets kind of toxic, man, because that's the kind of energy, and I think sometimes the suits look at that kind of stuff, man. They gotta watch out, like, man, a mega fight would have been Tank and Gary Russell. If Mr. Gary Russell would have went ahead and I guess made the move up to 30 and made the move up to 35, him and Tank would have probably made a good fight. And one would think that we can go right down here to the MGM Grand and we could have got it on. But that atmosphere probably would have been too crazy, man. Somebody probably, like, some stuff probably would have happened. But I think the suits know that kind of stuff, man. That's why I like when two people can get it on. I hear Gary Russell and Sabril, they both won each other, but they just won each other. They ain't got to do all of that. And they know they both coming. And they both know how they both coming. So I don't respect lopsided fights. I'm a boxing fan. Yeah. I don't think Tank versus Gary, Tank versus Matias versus Gary. I don't think none of it's going the distance. It's a toss-up. We got to see it. But what we getting right now is we got to sit back now. We got to do a lot of, like, that's why I kind of been reserved. And I said, my stuff going to grow as it grow. I'm going to report to what's vital. And I changed up my whole paradigm on how I'm looking at boxing and how I'm covering boxing. It's crazy, man, because we just really, boxing is set up to where we should be able to get a Super Bowl. See, in football, we can only get a Super Bowl once a year. In boxing, we should be getting a Super Bowl once a quarter. Once a quarter, two fighters that, you know what I'm saying? Because the sport is changing, man. And in a way, I think it's fading in a lot of ways, man. People getting caught juicing and, oh, we didn't determine that you did that on purpose. Murder don't work like that. Tszyu and Thurman, no Canelo. Spence just had surgery. Who Bud next fight? NNF, Triple NF came right in like clockwork. They all can KO each other. Yeah, they can. Why Spence wait 7 months to get the surgery knowing they had a rematch? I don't have no answers. I heard a lot of people speculating on why, but I don't have any answers for certain. At this point, man, I'm like, man, Bud and Spence, they deserve each other, man. Like, they deserve each other. They that couple that should have been got together a long time ago, man. They should have been, you know what I'm saying? But they that couple, man, that they deserve each other, man. Cause I don't know, what was your stance when Boots When Boots left, when Bud left Earl at the altar and he went and took that Avenesian fight, what was your stance? Bud gonna stop Canelo? What was your stance when he did that? What were you being vocal about at that time? Were you co-signing that? Or were you saying, nah, Bud, you can't do that? What side of the fence were you on back then? But you see, Triple NF came right in here too. Don't get sidetracked by this question I'm talking about now. I'm just waiting on you to respond to that. But don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked by what I'm about to say. Triple NF came in here and asked the same question, man. Too much going on with speculation with Earl. I'm just curious on Bud's next move. Yeah, it's too much speculation, man. That's we don't got nothing concrete. So anything you hear, man, people are speculating. You heard? What's good, everybody? What's good, Jose Diaz, man? I'm trying to figure out where Bud gonna stop Canelo at. If Bud KOs or beat Canelo, he'll get all my respect, but honestly, I don't think he's making it to 12. See, me, this is one of the ones I will not get trapped into even putting any energy into that, because when it get made, I'll put all energy in it. I'm at that point where when certain fights get made, I'll put energy into it. Until then, I'm not putting no energy into it. PBC wanted Spence to fight Thurman and other people. His words, not mine. Spence went against them too many. It happened. No, I'm saying when no, see, this is what I'm saying. This is a straight up and down coming at you like a heat-seeking missile. You know what I'm saying? And you hot like fire right now. I'm asking you, when Errol Spence got left at the altar and Bud went and fought David Avenesian, what were you saying at the time? You were saying, okay, he got to feed his family. He got to go get a bag. When Earl just sat there and he didn't go get another fight, what was your stance then? Because we hearing a lot of people complaining now because Spence waited 7 months to get the surgery. We don't know. It's speculation. He waited. But what was your stance back then? I just want to see if you keep that same energy on both ends. What were you saying back then? Y'all keep saying no Canelo so casually like it's okay and don't call him a duck. Number one, but Canelo don't say he won't fight him. Matias versus Barbosa could still happen. Both are volume fighters, but I don't think Barbosa has the power to check Matias. But if he don't get the unification fight, that's the one I want. It'll be a good name. That's what I was saying. I was like, man, I think Matias, man, you gotta have some special power, man. You gotta have some power, man. It gotta be more than average. You gotta be more than respectable power. More than that power where you ain't just gonna walk through. No, I think you gotta be offensively gifted. And is Barbosa's skill set just good enough for the power that he has to go against Matias? I don't know, because I seen Matias take a shellacking, man. He got a beard, so. Okay, Canelo a duck. Better. What does Bud do now? This is Triple NF saying this now. Asking these questions, you know what I'm saying? I'm matter of fact. There go the link, man. Bud gonna stop Canelo, man. Hop on here, man. I was saying they changed the date to 2023, so he stayed busy. Why not? They wasn't fighting until 2023, so no problem. It don't affect PBC plan for their fight. Okay, so you saying PBC was moving the dates around when they said 2023, Bud was like, all right, I'm gonna go get this Avenesian. But he was, I mean, I don't know. That sounds good, but I thought he was negotiating with that man the whole time too. I thought he was dealing with the PBC in good faith, but Matias like better beef. They different. What you want to see? I want the Ennis fight number one stylistically, but I was okay with the Tim fight over Boots. Yeah, I didn't. You know, when I try to talk to that point, I didn't want to make it seem like I was just taking the crap on Tim. I just think that you know, we can't define these fighters' legacy, man. Now they define their own legacy. Their legacy might be to fight for a belt and then fight you know, a YouTuber like Ryan, as they say, because he a YouTuber 1 minute when somebody fighting him, but then he's all talented and very dangerous and, you know, able to knock you out when he's fighting a different fighter. I don't know. You know, otherwise I said I got to come out with that KY jelly, man, for these goalposts. So when you go to pick them up, whoop, because it be changing, man. I don't know. I know that a lot of people done put a lot of stock in waiting on Canelo, putting their eggs in that Canelo basket, man. He has like bankrupted a lot of people's careers waiting around. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just thought, you know, I'm like, hey, I just, you know, ouch. You know what I'm saying? Like I came here to try to get some answers from somebody, but nobody really had no answers. Well, maybe I'm just a night owl. Talking about Tim, how does the promotion you want him to be a pay-per-view star here in the USA, but his first fight on Prime is pay-per-view with Thurman? It doesn't make sense, the first fight. You know, it just show you how, man, like at the end of the day, man, I think PBC and Al and all them, they just showed, and Al just showed you that no matter what, he gonna take care of his guys. If you look at that last fight on Showtime, that fight that they had, he let Andre Berto and the Ghost, Robert Guerrero, get it on. That's how he is, man. And obviously this look like Al taking care of another one of his guys and Keith Thurman. I got you, man. I got you. But look like Al taking care of Keith, man. And it looked like plans weren't plans. The real plans wasn't the real plans, man. I think a lot of people were just flapping in the wind, man. And when news like this come out, when that fight came out and was made, that mean it was no preparation on the back end. Like all of the back work, all of the back networking that was going on, the line up the Avenesian fight, none of that stuff was going on with Tim Tszyu to even arrange that. When news like this come out, man, it kind of like, it make a lot of different people who be breaking news. You know what I'm saying? Breaking news. They be messing a lot of people up with that breaking news, that early bird get the worm stuff, man. I'm just confused. It's like the promotion only looking out for the ones that are popular on the social media. I'm trying to tell you, boxing is changing, Ghost. Boxing is changing, Ghost. Boxing is changing, man. It's changing, man. These fighters, you got to get on social media and be like, your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, man. Cause, man, that's why I won't even go certain places in the Bay. I wish I would let somebody mute me and shut me up and be like, your mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just won't even give nobody that opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm old school though, man. I'm old school. We just didn't say we didn't call people. Like when we call people the B word, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's on. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that mean you want it. When you said certain things and you talked about certain people, family members, and you got this, like when certain words came out your mouth about somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody y'all got to get it on. Somebody got to get hands laid on them. Either you gonna lay hands on me or I'm gonna lay hands on you. But that's just that old school stuff. But now, social media, you know what I'm saying? You get out there and say, "Oh man, your footwork looked terrible last night."
Yo, what up, man?
What's going on?
Man, I've been trying to do this shit for days. This shit been tweaking, but I guess it's working now. I figured it out.
Hey, well, welcome on the panel, man. Like, you know, sometimes things get lost in translation when when do text and all that. But
Yeah.
explain your stance on this. Like, help us out.
Yep. So, and when they was supposed to fight, as Spence said he was fighting in November with or without Bud. All that was going on. Then they started negotiating, and they was supposed to fight in 2022. So during negotiations, they switched the date. Remember when Spence was on the phone with whoever recorded that conversation and said, "Oh, it's supposed to be sometime in February or March." He don't know when. When that happened, remember that conversation?
Yeah.
So they changed the date to 2023. Crawford, only thing he was telling Al was he want to fight in 2022. He want to fight that year. So that was what he was asking for. So when they changed the date, Crawford wanted to stay busy. That's why he was like, all right, that's why he made that fight. So he could stay busy since the fight ain't till 23. That's why he took that fight. And that still didn't affect them fighting next year. They wanted to fight next year anyway. So it didn't even affect their fight. So that's why I was like, cool, he go get his money, go get his 10 million, and they could still fight in the next year. So that's how I was looking at it, because that's how it was. So it ain't really affect the fight at all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said like so Bud and them, they took that to heart when he said, "I'm fighting in what he say? I'm fighting in September." what did he say? September?
He said whatever date, not that ain't specifically what they took to heart, but Crawford told them when they started negotiating he wanted to fight that year, not in 23. So when they remember when they revised the contract, I mean whatever they was offering to fight, they made it for 23. They changed the date. That's why Crawford took that fight, because he wanted to fight that year in 22. So that's why he was like, I'm gonna take this fight and we can still fight in 23. He didn't lead negotiations. They just paused it, like he said. You know what I'm saying? And they still fought the next year. So it ain't like it ain't like he planned on fighting. Spence wanted to fight in 22, no matter what. So that's how it was. That's how I looked at it, because that's how it was. He wasn't never fighting that year anyway, so they could still fight in 23. It didn't affect their fight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that standpoint. I agree with Jose Diaz. He said that fight should have happened years ago. I think it happened too late, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing You keep saying Canelo never said that.
Yeah, Canelo, he made a list. He put who he put on that list? He said he put Crawford on there. He put Munguia on there. I just know Crawford was on that list, even though he act like he don't want to fight, but he haven't officially announced the fight yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a chance of them making it. Now, so it's like nobody, a lot of people just pushing for the Boots fight, the Boots fans, but you can't just say, oh, because everybody been saying he ain't gonna get the Canelo fight since he first said it. But when Spence, before he fought Crawford, and they were talking about Canelo with Spence, everybody was all for it. Even Canelo was, oh, that's a big fight. But when it come to Bud, Canelo reluctant to take that fight, and the fans just said, oh, he don't deserve that fight. He gonna lose this, that. But they weren't saying that about Spence because Crawford is a threat to beat Canelo. That's why he saying he don't. That's why it seemed like he don't want to fight. And Canelo fans saying, oh, but he'll do this to Bud. He'll knock Bud out, this and that. But he ain't even knocked Charlo out. So you can't just say he'll do that to Bud. And Canelo himself, before he fight Charlo, he said that Bud beat everybody from 147 to 160. So that includes Charlo. But he still fought Charlo, and he wasn't worried about getting credit for it. But in his mind, he knew that Bud is better than Charlo when he had beat him because he said it. So why did he fight Charlo if he don't want to fight Bud? You see what I'm saying? So,
Well, let me speak to this one thing, because you said something to let me think that, like, we in that category that you in, when you make that stance with Bud, y'all don't count money in none of the equation, like, because that's what Canelo, the money man, like everything he do. So y'all don't. So it was more equity. See, Errol Spence had Jerry's World. Like, Errol Spence came with a bag. Like, he had already, his numbers was already creeping up. You know what I'm saying? His numbers was already doing what they was doing. Like, he was, getting good numbers. He had Jerry World, that whole state. He had that whole, so he had a bag. Canelo saw, oh, well, we can get money. You know what I'm saying? Because you got this what you bring in pay-per-views, this what I bring in pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? We got the whole cross-cultural thing. With Bud, it might be a more competitive fight in the ring, maybe. But as far as the money, y'all didn't even consider that. That's one of the reasons why Canelo was saying nah, because
but Canelo gonna generate the money regardless of who he fights. So it don't even matter who Canelo fight, because it's gonna generate money anyway. So Canelo fought Charlo, and Charlo less known than Bud. Canelo fought John Ryder, and he less known than both of them. So he picking and choosing who he want to fight, and it ain't because of money. You know what I'm saying? But Bud choosing Canelo for, he want to be undisputed in that weight class and the money, and that's the whole thing with Boots. Boots is not a big fight. They're not gonna make that much off that fight. But Bud is saying, if you want me to stay F the legacy and the money and fight you, well, make me fight. You got to say what you got to say, and I'll say fuck that other shit and go fight Boots. That's all Bud is telling him. He been told him that on the Gilly, the $1 billion worth of game, and Bernie the Boxer told Boots that. So that's all he's saying, because it's better, it's bigger fights than Boots. Of course, people want to see it now. That is Spence lost. They weren't saying that before Bud beat Spence. They was saying, oh, Boots can't beat Spence or Bud. But when he beat him, now is Boots can beat Bud. You see what I'm saying? But it ain't that Bud don't want to fight him. It's not a big fight. It's not a legacy fight. It's just to prove something to a bunch of fans that's still not going to give him credit. But he will do it if Boots says something. I took the cursing out of it. Like Bodie was saying, we ain't gonna call him no bitch and no pussy and all. That's why I said all he got to do is say, I knock Bud out. And Bud gonna take that personal and slide on him, bro. But he won't say it. Everybody, I told YSM that, and he talked to him, he know him, but Boots will not say it. He's still being a nice guy, and he know that's not gonna get him to fight. Tszyu, like I was telling Ghost, Tszyu said what he said. Yeah, Bud responded to that and got for real, but Boots not talking like that. That's why he didn't come at Boots like that. If Boots say I'll knock Bud out, I guarantee you, I got $500 if he say that Bud gonna pull up on him. I guarantee you that. If he say all he gotta say is he ain't never said nothing like that, bro. That's all I'm saying. So the energy is gonna be there, but if he want Bud to do that, that's what he gotta do. But everybody just taking Canelo off the table. He not off the table unless he say, "Oh, I'm not gonna fight him," or he signed the Munguia fight or something. Then yeah, now if he signed for something else, okay. But everybody can't just say, "Oh, Canelo ain't gonna fight him," and just how you know he didn't say he's not gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? So
He basically said, like, you remember how when Bivol was basically saying, look, I want to do, if we're gonna do the rematch, I'll do the rematch, but I want to come down at the 68 because if I beat you again at 75,
yeah.
I ain't gonna get no credit. That's what Canelo was pretty much saying. He basically said, look, man, I ain't getting no credit for Jamel because he jumped all the way up there, even though people were dogging Jamel.
See, look, to that I say this. That's what Canelo said at first. He said he not gonna go down before he fought before Spence and Bud fought. Canelo said he not gonna go down and fight him. Now he said this on the Breakfast Club, but he said if he comes to 168, yeah, I'll fight him. Why not? And once Bud did what he did, then everything changed. Then after he fought Charlo, he changed everything. Canelo running from Bud, bro. That's what everybody don't want to admit. He ducking Bud, and nobody calling him out, nobody questioning him about it. But the media starting to ask everybody about it. People said Bud can beat him. McGirt said Bud can beat him. Tim Bradley said Bud can beat him. Teddy Atlas said Bud can beat him. So it's the pressure is starting to get on. That's all I'm saying.
But it's not just, see, that's the whole thing. It's not just with Bud. Canelo been doing this, like, it's other people that's been in line. Like, it's been Benavidez has been in line, Jamal Charlo been in line. Both of the Charlos was in line. Like, now how that happened with him getting mail first. So David Morrell been fighting his mandatory since 2021. It's been other people that's been in line. So that behavior ain't just directed towards Bud.
Right. I agree with that. But we know Jamal Charlo is he not fitted. He not ready for that's if he fight him, that's a cherry pick at this point. He should have been fought. Right now that's a cherry pick. But Canelo ain't fit to fight Benavidez or Morrell. So I would say out of all the fights, Bud is who he should choose. They number one and number two, depending on what you want as pound for pound. So why not take that fight? You know what I'm saying? But he might not. But if Canelo make it clear he don't want Bud, then Bud can do other things. Then I would say, okay, now you can look at the Boots fight. But Boots can overstep all that by saying he'll knock Bud out. That's what I'm trying to tell his fans. If they want that fight, tell them to say that. Then Bud ain't gonna worry about none of that other shit. That's all. That's what
we'll see. We'll see if it come down to that. What happened with the like Bud just totally pivoted away from Jamel because he lost to Canelo. Why he still ain't want to mix it up with Mel?
But he said that's not really a big fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Since he lost, but he's still willing to do it. But that's not really on his radar right now. But at this point, since Tim Tszyu all of a sudden did this move, and I feel like Floyd has something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, if Tim Tszyu fight Keith Thurman, then Charlo is a person I'm looking to grab those belts and then fight Tim Tszyu next. You know what I'm saying?
That's still on the table. So you still want that Mel smoke?
Yeah,
I still think they should fight.
I do too. That's a good fight. That's the other belts too. And then Tim Tszyu, his belt's not even on the line against Thurman, so he's still gonna have a title. So I'm with that Charlo fight too. That's a bigger fight than even the Boots fight. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I don't want him to fight Boots, because I'm definitely gonna bet at least 2,000 if they fight. But Boots gotta say he'll knock Bud out to get the fight. Otherwise, it's of course Bud for the look at Charlo, for the look at Canelo, at these other fights because they bigger fights. And it's legacy in those fights. You know what I'm saying? So that's my point of view from the whole thing. I want to see the Boots fight too, but those other fights is more important than fighting Boots. Because even when he knocked, just like Bud said, what the excuses they gonna make for Spence, that's exactly what they said. He said that 5 years ago, and he's saying the same thing with Boots. They gonna say, oh, he was young, he was in his. He already said what it's gonna be, bro. And Bomac already said they've been studying Boots, just like they study Spence. They've been ready for him, bro. But Boots not doing what he got to do. That's all. But Bud, I want him to fight Charlo. I want him to fight Canelo or Boots next. You know what I'm saying? Those are the three choices to me. Since Tim Tszyu out the question, those are three fights. You know what I'm saying? I understand what y'all be saying, but that's all I'm saying as far as Boots go. He just got to say, and there ain't no cursing in that, bro. I knock Bud out. I wish he would say that, bro. Because, you know, Bud ain't going for none of that, man.
Yeah. I mean, I get the stance now. I just thought I thought maybe something was getting lost in translation. So I guess now I understand better, man. I'm kind of taking a step back now, man, because you know, I don't know if you noticed, man, boxing energy is getting weird out here, man. It's like it's weird. Like it's just weird, man.
Yeah, people picking and choosing like Benavidez and Canelo and Morrell. Canelo is ducking Benavidez. He's been ducking him, and the excuses he's using is the same excuses that Benavidez is using not to fight Morrell. Oh, what has he done? Who has he fought? This and that. And Benavidez said before that Andrade fight, I'm glad I got on the talk too, because it'd be hard typing all this shit. But before he fought Andrade, he said, because they was like, are you interested in Morrell? He fight in December too, so they was fighting close. He was like, yeah, after Andrade, the only two names I want is he said Morrell first. It's Morrell and Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
So if he not getting Canelo, he should definitely be fighting Morrell next. But after the fight, Benavidez wasn't talking like that. He ain't mentioned Morrell since the fight was over. So he doing, and then they using the same excuse Canelo using not to fight him. But nobody calling these dudes out for none of that shit, bro. They just making the same excuses. Oh, he ain't fought nobody. He this, he that. Like, come on, man. Benavidez don't want that Morrell smoke. Just like Canelo don't want that Benavidez smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's facts plus tax. Now, my man Ghost hit you with a question right there.
Let me see.
He said, but tell us how Bud beats Canelo. Break it down.
Okay. Yeah. Bud beat Canelo because Bud IQ is high. Only thing Canelo gonna have an advantage in that fight is the weight, if that's considered an advantage. But Bud got longer arms than Canelo. He got the reach, 74-inch reach. He got the speed. He got the IQ, better punch placement, and Canelo, the way you see how he was fighting Charlo, that's how he always fight. He's launching from way. By the time Canelo throw one of them punches, Bud gonna bend and hit him 2 or 3 times, and he up out the way, bro. You can see that shit coming a mile away. He too slow for Bud. He too predictable for Bud. Just like Bivol exposed him. He hit him with everything. Bivol just not a finisher. That's why he couldn't really hurt Canelo like that, because he's not that type of fighter. But Bud is going to hurt you. He knows what he's doing. So the speed factor, his IQ was higher, and it's just like everything. Only thing Canelo got on him is the weight. You know what I'm saying? He's been at that weight longer, but Bud got a longer reach than him. He got a better IQ. He's faster than him. Better punch. Everything is better. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, and the footwork definitely better, bro. So, and Bud know how to adjust way better than Canelo. Canelo do the same thing. He walking forward, throwing them haymakers. That's it. That shit ain't gonna beat Bud. So either he gonna outpoint him or stop him. Either way, Bud winning that fight. So that's how I see it.
Let me see, Jose Diaz. But we sent him a contract, no answer. Benavidez didn't answer. Yeah. I mean, I got that. I just, I don't know, man. I think we'll see. We'll see how it pan out. We'll see. I get where you coming from, though. We'll see how it pan out, man. You got some good points, and I think the IQ is definitely up there. I don't know how his punch resistance is going to look like, because Canelo is going to touch him.
Yeah,
he's going to touch him.
But look, see, Canelo couldn't even knock Charlo out, and Bud is better than Charlo. So it's like That's why when people be saying, "Oh, he gonna do this to Bud, he gonna destroy Bud," like he couldn't even destroy Charlo. You know what I'm saying? How's he gonna destroy somebody who better than Charlo? He got better
But
defense
but
and offense.
but again, just like when Boots fought Karan, he moved a lot. I don't think he ran as much, but I ain't never seen Mel fight like that. Mel didn't even commit. And I was promoting him. I got egg. Like last year was a bad year for me. You know, a
Yeah,
bad year for me because everybody who I rock with got put in the dirt or they did something crazy. Like it was just crazy.
you
I mean, I
had
got
picked
a lot of
Charlo.
fights right, but like the big major ones, like we didn't know. We thought this was your shot, Mel. You gonna get in there, and your only chance was to let your hands go. We know there wasn't gonna be no slipping, and he's not a slip. You know what I'm saying? He's not a Lara.
Yeah,
That was Lara's game. But we knew his game was gonna be to be offensive. So when he wasn't offensive, when I saw him, I'm like, what? Well, who was that in there? That's not Mel.
yeah,
So
he was
he's not
scaring them.
offensive. So I don't take nothing away from that fight. I just that just looked like a grab bag. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he went in there and grabbed that bag. He didn't have no intentions on really he let his hands go like twice.
Right. And I actually felt like I knew I said Charlo was gonna lose that fight. I don't see how people was picking him to win, saying they were saying he was gonna stop Canelo. Like he got a 50% knockout ratio. But I felt like he took that fight for the money and to avoid that buzz smoke, bro. Because Charlo energy all this whole time, he ain't want no smoke with Bud, bro. That's why he was in there acting like he don't know what that nigga talking about. When he was talking to Harden, you know what I'm saying? So he used that to get away from that fight, bro, and to get paid. That's why he didn't care about fighting, to me, in my opinion.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
what's up, buddy? Mark?
What's
Hold
going
up,
on,
bro.
Ghost?
Yo, but how was Canelo supposed to stop Charlo when he was just covering all fight and running all over the ring, bro? The first time he got cut, he got dropped. He was shook. He didn't want to let his hands go. He didn't want to do nothing. Even his trainer was telling him, "You gotta let your hands go, bro."
Canelo was hitting him though, bro. He just couldn't stop him, man. But
Yes, but Canelo was hitting his gloves and then hitting him. That's not the same type of power as when it's a flush shot.
you think Bud will stop Charlo if they fight?
I think Bud and Charlo will go 0-12.
I don't think so.
I think Bud will win, but I think it will go 0-12.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. And I made bets. I was betting before Bud even fought Sean Porter. I bet BFTV. He paid me for Sean Porter, but he ducked my 700 on Spence. But
do you think Charlo can still make 154?
he can make 154? Yeah, he can make 150 if he want to. I just
I
don't
think he went to 168. He looked like strong at 168. I think in 160 he will be at his best.
he was like he didn't have no definition though at
Yeah, he
168.
looked pudgy. He looked
Yeah.
pudgy.
That's what I said. He looked big, like. But at 160, I think he would look like shredded. He would look like he would look at his best, in my opinion. He would be like Matias at 140 or Boots at 147, a natural.
He
Yeah.
just like even when he went against Castano, like Charlo is good, but he not that good. You know what I'm saying?
See, I would like to see that. I would like to see Boots versus Castaño if he cannot get nobody in there, just to stay active.
Yeah,
But
that
Castaño dropped off the map though, man. Like he ain't active. That's
Right.
another thing.
he definitely not.
Nah, that's
Another
true
thing,
though.
we get
That's
these-
true. That's
We
true.
get these fighters when they ain't active, and it's like, yeah, you good, but it's like you can't just get back in there with no killers, like for real, and like we really expect for it to be competitive. That's why I say, as boxing fans, we getting done bad, man.
And
I mean,
winner,
shit. What can we get? Boots versus. I mean, not Boots. Bud versus. Oh shit, I forgot his name. The Mexican that fought they got the stoppage at his first fight 154. I forgot his name completely.
Virgil
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Yes.
I mean that too. Virgil Ortiz ducked the mandatory spot twice against Bud. So it's like
Yeah, but you saw what happened. He wasn't good at that way. Like he even had to take time off of that shit.
yeah, but that was before any of that happened. He turned that down twice. And the WBO president, like, he don't know why he turned it down. But
But then he missed weight like twice before all of that on that
yeah,
same weight.
yeah, they said you the mandatory. You want to fight Bud for the belt. They asked him 2 different occasions, and he turned it down. The president said that. He was like, I don't know why he turned it down, but we know why. But
I still would think it would be a great fight on both sides.
Yeah, that's a good fight at 54. That's a good fight too.
Yeah, I see some promotional things, but I mean, yeah, fight wise, if they can get in the ring, you know.
I mean, I also like to see Navarrete versus Shakur.
He said Canelo wasn't in kill mode that fight. Canelo was trying hard to knock Charlo out, though. He was trying. He was
trying, but Charlo was running and guarding. The only first time he caught him, he got dropped. After that man was nowhere to be seen. He was on skates.
Canelo do that same little high guard, throw that little body punch from way southwest. You know what I'm saying? Now you do the same.
Nah, but I saw Errol catch Bud with a hook coming in with that jab. So if Canelo gets him with that, he can make it a quick night.
Yeah, I doubt that though, man.
If Gamboa touched him though, like, let's be honest, if Gamboa touched him,
that's
make his leg
bro,
weak. What you think Canelo gonna do?
That's 10 years ago, bro. Bud is
Canelo ain't being hurt, bro. I ain't never seen Canelo hurt against big ass dudes.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Canelo,
he's been in there with Mayweather, Jacobs, Triple G, Kovalev, Bivol. I could keep pulling out names that could crack and are good fighters. None of them could hurt him.
None of them dudes are killers though, bro. None of them dudes putting.
What do you mean? Like Triple G was a beast, bro. Come on, let's keep it 100. Kovalev killed the dude in the ring. That nigga is my fault. That dude is a bad man. You feel me?
But he wasn't the same dude when he fought Canelo though that he used to be, man. He already.
But he was way bigger though. He even thought Canelo was like, shit, okay, that's easy.
But Canelo don't feel like that. That's all I'm saying. Like Canelo, his fans do, but he ain't.
But how do we know that Canelo has faced like what 20-something champions? He's the first person ever to wipe out every champion at 168 too.
But nah, Canelo, look,
we talking about a division that had Roy Jones, Hopkins. You feel me? Like they had dogs in that division. And he's the one that unified that division.
Ghost, when Benavidez had the belt, Canelo didn't want to get that belt. But when
Benavidez had the belt, Canelo was at 160 fighting Triple G for the first time.
Look though, when Benavidez lost the belt, then he went after the belt for a vacant title against Yildirim. After Benavidez lost it, now he want to go get it.
Yeah, but how come Benavidez lost it? Because he was doing coke. You know, can't.
He lost it on
you gotta see that too. Like, that's his fault. He lost the belts. If not, Canelo would have been fought him already.
Ghost, listen. All I'm saying is Canelo didn't clean out the division because the best fighter.
Yes, he did.
He never.
He. If you beat all the champions, you cleaned out the champions.
Just because
it's okay if you gotta fight mandatory after, but you cleaned out the champions. You got to give credit for that too.
Listen, though, bro. The best fighters
those were champs.
At 168 is Benavidez and Morrell, and he ain't fought neither one of them. So you could say he cleaned it out, but he didn't. The best 2 fighters, he never fought them. They still there. He been ducking. Benavidez has been a mandatory for 2 years.
Well, Canelo had. Remember, he got 4 titles. He got other mandatories too on other sanctions, so he could pick who he wants. He's the unified champion. He earned that right. You can't take that away from him. Just like Bud at 147.
So y'all give Canelo credit saying that he did this and that, but he's strategically doing this stuff though? But he still, that don't mean he didn't duck. He's not ducking Benavidez and Morrell. So I don't.
Okay, we can say he's strategically doing it.
He undisputed, but he didn't fight the best fighters in that weight class.
Well, yeah,
how he didn't fight the best fighters?
You was making me a little nervous at first, Ghost, but you said the right thing. He did that strategically because there is some truth that, yes, David Benavidez, he lost his belt twice. He lost it for weight and he lost it for the cocaine.
Yeah.
But So that was his fault. But at the same time, Canelo didn't get that energy that he had to go get them belts. So it's some rights on both sides. It's somewhere in the middle. And you know, Canelo, he gonna get the benefit of the doubt anyway because he bring the money and he can pretty much pick, choose, and refuse. That's how that goes.
Right.
Yeah,
In
but
my
you see, a lot of people want to see Benavides in there so much that they don't see the flaws. Like Canelo is a counter puncher.
I mean,
First,
we gotta see it though.
Benavides walks in with his chin open. Like you don't think Canelo is gonna like uppercut his your bro. Like Kirkland looked bad doing the same thing Benavides would try to do.
Hey, Ghost, I had Canelo beating Benavidez, but the fact that he don't want to fight him makes me like, why don't you want to fight him? Just like
But that
I
doesn't
had,
mean nothing. They said the same thing about Bud versus Errol. They said, "Oh, Bud is avoiding Errol. He gonna KO and all that." But what
like
happened the day of the fight?
I said, I always had Tank beating Devin Haney, but
Same here.
Tank
Same here.
Tank energy for Devin Haney ain't the same. That makes me like, why? It's a
It
reason
ain't.
why.
It ain't the
So-
same. It ain't the
so
same.
we can think that, but these certain fighters don't want to prove it. So
See,
that's
but you know what's funny?
I can't
To be
give him
honest
credit
with
for
you,
that.
I don't think Tank or Devin Haney, none of them want to fight each other. To be honest,
Nah, Devin
like
been
if you see
calling.
their energy, they really don't want to fight each other. If not, they would have make that shit happen. There's too much money involved.
But Devin been
There's
calling
something
Tank
more
out
than
since
why they not fighting.
135, bro. Devin been calling Tank out since 135. He been calling him out.
but
So
they
Nah, I
don't
think
want to. They
Tank
don't.
been looking like a duck lately. I ain't gonna lie.
what you say,
But
Body
I
Work?
can't say that, man. But they don't want to fight each other for two different reasons. They don't want to fight each other for two different reasons. Like they not business wise, they don't look at it like they look at it like, man, Devin, he's just gonna come over here and try to get a part of this bag because the bag that they gonna get together ain't gonna be bigger than what Tank go get elsewhere. So that's a money thing. Devin and them don't really. I don't think Devin and them really want to fight anyway because you don't even want to sit down with the powers that be to make the fight. You can't say that you want it, but you're going to go sign with everybody else, but the people that you need to get with to make the fight. People don't
Nah,
ignore
that's
because look at the Bud and Spence thing. All the red tape is because it's cross promotion. As long as it's cross promotion, it's not in house. Look at all these guys that's about to be in house. Why do you think they're making Rolly and Cruz? That's in house. Why do you think they're making Zoo? Why you think they're making Zoo and Thurman? That's in house. Why you think it's Lemons and look at that Golden Boy card. They all doing the in-house thing. It's just one promotional company take more heat than the others. It only makes sense, and it only makes sense when it's a big enough fight for the money to where cross promotion ain't never a factor. That's the only time. If it's a big fight and it makes a lot of money and a lot of sense, and everybody know that, cross promotion is gonna go well. Until that happens, ain't nobody gonna fork over their guy who they can continue getting whatever bread they get now every time they show him, just to go send him over there or to take somebody on to take part of a bag that you can make by yourself. That's just the fact.
Right, I get that,
fact.
Body Work, but look, at the same time, Devin they offered him a $20 million guarantee first, right? So this is what I mean. I'm explaining this to say Devin said want to fight because they offered that $20 million. They said they're not taking it. They the A side, this and that. And then Eddie Hearn texted Tank, let's talk. And then he said no. He didn't talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And we got the whole Saudi thing. That Tank don't want to deal with that. And at the same time, Tank never sent the offer to Devin. And he the A side, but why haven't you sent the offer? But they making you offers, you deny them, but you're not sending them.
There was never a time he just can't do that. And for Eddie and them, they know, man, they are masters at this social media because they know people are gonna take that and run with it. We don't even gotta know. Like, think about all these deals. Just think about up until yesterday. I'm gonna give you an example right now. Think about up until yesterday. Yesterday it was all this speculation. They were saying Bud wants Zoo, all this. If the fight got announced today, that means all the negotiation, everything for Zoo and Thurman to happen, that's been happening. Like, you don't do that on social media. What happens is, if the Saudis had whatever, they should have got with Al. If that money was legit, that Devin and them claim, if it was 20, but if it was, you go get with Al. You don't do that on social media. That was just to get everybody saying what you just said. And it's working because you just said it.
Right, but body work.
No, and that's
Why
what I was
haven't
saying
Tank?
yesterday.
Why
Everybody be on
haven't Tank?
social media.
Why haven't Al? None of them sent the offer to Devin though. All this time, all these last 2-3 years, they've been
Because
calling
you
for the
can't,
fight.
because listen, because the whole time you got to look at what Devin was at. Devin was with, even right now, Devin, that's a 2-fight deal with the Zone. You tied up. Before that, it was a 3-fight deal with Top Rank.
But he know they'll let him. He like Devin can move around though. But all I'm saying
That's not, man. They got
Man, that
that
shit giving me
Kool-Aid,
Manny
man. They
Pacquiao
can't
versus
do that,
Mayweather
bro.
vibes. They trying to stretch that shit out.
They can't do that though, bro.
yeah.
It's like, I understand you could point a lot of fingers and say, all right, Floyd ain't, or they didn't aggressively go, but no, you got to look at each. If you're gonna look at PBC like that, then you got to look at the people that's with ESPN like that. And whenever you got a title and you're fighting for a title, it comes with an obligation. Why you think when Shakur went and got that, when he got that title that he just got, when he got that, that's why he said, all right, I got one more fight with, because it's traditionally they don't let you get no belt and walk out the door, cuz. So you gotta it's good, because the energy, you will say the energy, oh, this guy don't want to fight that, but the powers that be know that you behind that cage and I'm behind this cage. We both know we can't fight. Most of the time it be best laid plans, and they play us to get us to be arguing, for us to keep their name out there, and they already know that it's a line right there.
But Ryan, he fought Ryan, and Golden Boy and PBC don't really rock like that. They made that happen.
That was in the making for years.
Yeah, I just feel like you pick and choose.
You gotta think, Ryan pulled out the first time. They was already talking. That was already like, and then the way Ryan was acting and looking, I think finally Oscar was like, man, we gonna have to let them get this fight, because if he don't get a big fight and we don't capitalize on the money he got, he gonna get in here with one of these other guys that he might not be ready for. We never want to make our opportunity.
Yeah. So
and Ryan had to do that.
You think can Tank fight anybody he want to fight if he really want to?
Yes.
No.
I think so too. I think.
Listen. They can send an offer. Listen, it's not gonna be about the money. Everybody will accept, but you got to think. These guys, okay, it's just like when, okay, look at it like this. I'm gonna use it in your terms. Bud had that one belt. Yeah, he had his experience in the undisputed. He had the undisputed at 40. He had that. He had one belt coming to that table. He leveraged that into everything, because he knew that that Earl was at the mercy of everything to get that fight. Or not Bud say he gonna walk. These other guys know that. So if Tank is the bag and he over there behind that Al Heyman wall, let's say he behind the Al Heyman wall, they know that the bag is over there. It's going to be the biggest fight. It's going to get the most eyeballs on it. But the promoters, whoever these guys are attached to, they have leverage in that. They're going to want a piece of that. They're going to want to do that. And for them to build that guy up to make that much money, they're not just going to forfeit that. It's going to have to be like, all right, look, let's work it out. At least let's sit down and talk about it. You can't say you don't want to fight me. You don't even want to go behind closed doors, because people don't just arbitrarily send no contract out. I'm gonna tell you why. If they arbitrarily just send out a contract and say, all right, or a term sheet to say, hey, this is what we want to do, and they send that out to you, their behavior, them Haney's behavior, they'll take that and go all around Boardwalk. They'll go all around Boardwalk and be like, look what he gave me. Look what they trying to give me. What you got? They'll do that. They're not going to do that until they go down there and they sit down and they hash it out. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing what they're doing, making the fans think, oh, man, he really don't want to do this. And they don't have no intentions on fighting each other.
Yeah, I just, I be looking like they said they'd take the same deal Ryan got. I remember I just be looking at what they say too, like Tank's Coach Kenny flipped the coin, Shakur next, this and that, but now they don't want to fight Shakur. It's like,
some of these things like now, that's the only one that I don't get that coin flip. Yeah, I'm firm on that. I didn't understand that. I was the same way. I'm like, okay, you done flipped that coin and that's where it landed, so we got to roll, and that didn't happen. That's the only where I'm like, hey, what's going on there? I give you that. I'll give you that. The other stuff, them Haney's, they say one thing one day, Another thing, the next day, and they'll lie, they'll slander. Like I've been I got videos on them with their words and their actions and everything that they'll do. I don't trust anything that they say. I know right now he got
me neither. I don't either.
He got that mandatory right now, and he had that before. That was already the step aside and all that. So you can't be like, I'm gonna fight this guy and that guy. And then when you look at it,
and Sandor is dangerous.
Yeah, you talking about Sandor Martin?
Yeah, he's dangerous, bro. He's dangerous.
He can box. But you know, I like Dev as a fighter, man. I think he's a good fighter. But the tactics they use and the method of promotion and all that, it goes overboard. And you could say tanking them, ducking and all that, but that's not the case, man. That's not the case.
Nah, and also I like the point that you point out that like the Haney's be capping, like the dad be capping a lot. Because how you already like Sandor already took the step aside money and all that. You knew he was gonna be the mandatory for that fight. And you out here came out the next day, say you talked to like Matias promoter and offered $4 million, which he made $300K. You think he's gonna like turn down $4 million, bro? So a man gotta eat. You feel me? Like a man gotta eat. He wouldn't turn that down. But like, don't say you made an offer and say you talked to Peter Crown. Like, that's not even Matias promoter. That's
so with that, you gotta take. So with that being said, you gotta take. So if you know that to be true. And you got to look at the negotiation with Ryan. You got to look at You got to look at the whole them undermining Sandor, them talking about T.O. like that was a viable option. They do this all the time. All these
they trying to get fans. They trying to get fans.
You can't get all them. You can't have all them irons in a coal. I understand. All right, if this don't work, I can go this way. But you can't be negotiating with 5 people at the same time.
And they did come out and say, "Oh, they dug. That's why they didn't take the money." Like, bro, not. So you're gonna tell me out of 10 fighters you're trying to make business with, they all turn the money down?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That makes no sense, bro. That's business. It makes no sense.
So
that's why you got to be even killed with that, man. You can't go too overboard, pointing too many fingers. We know it. It's just like dictating everything to Ryan. Now Ryan was that guy, and that would have been a decent pay-per-view. But you going in there talking about I want this and that, and you gonna give me that. Just like you can't tell Tank. I'll take that same thing. Your numbers don't even what Ryan's is.
Anybody that fights Ryan is gonna have a big number of pay-per-views. That boy got like what, like 2 million followers on Instagram alone?
I mean, no.
On YouTube, like he got a lot of viewers. Like he got fans for real.
It all
so any pay-per-view, he's gonna make money.
Bro. It all depends who the matchup is. That's what really generates the numbers. It ain't even the certain fighters, because Tank. He never went over 250 ever. But when you fight a good fighter, your numbers is gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? Like Spence sold 350 at the most, but when he fought Bud, they sold.
So did Tank. So did Tank. Tank by himself had like 350, didn't he?
Nah, Tank never.
Or 450, something like that.
Nah, 250 is his highest, bro. But it
except for the Ryan fight.
Yeah, except for the Ryan fight, it was 1.2. So it all depends who you fight. If people, that's what I don't realize. But it's like they don't understand that. What they don't want to take the risk, but the risk is what gets you money. That's what
Devin ain't making no easy work out of Tank, bro. Come on, like
but even with that though,
ain't no easy work, bro.
He's selling out everywhere he go. Now that's not. I don't like getting off on that because people be dropping it and listening to what they be listening to what I be saying. Trust me, but I don't want people to get the message. All the people that just be glancing by and listening casually. What I'm saying is, it's not the fact that this man. It's not only the fact that this man be selling out every arena he get into, but that is a factor by the people who make the decision.
Yeah, right.
Like that's why I don't let myself get too off, because it's like we trying to control some shit that we ain't gonna be able to control. It's no multi-million, billion-dollar company where I can go because I'm a little piece, I'm a little pawn on the board and go mess up the whole board. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a business. That's controlled by the top
people.
It's
just like Naoya. Why you think everybody going over there? Because he that guy. They acquiesce to that man plans. This is because you looking at it like, oh, that's just Floyd. Oh, that's just Al. Oh, that's just Tank. They respect Naoya over there in his country. They go over there They see the terms, they getting a good payday, they getting put on the big stage, everything is taken care of, but they respect that man over there. Our
Yo, you
guys,
know
the
what's
top
crazy,
guys, we
bro?
don't respect those guys over here.
You know what's crazy? They can make like PBC, the Zone, all of them. They can make so many pay-per-views in Mexico City, and that shit will sell. As long as you put a Mexican and an American fighter, that shit will sell.
Hey, well,
But they
Amari,
don't be
I
thinking
want
like
to
that. They
ask
don't be
you
thinking
though.
about going to other countries making pay-per-views more. Like you can put American fighters everywhere to give them like to get them recognized in other countries. Like put them on pay-per-views in other countries, bro. Make them feel involved, the fans.
But
Like
sometimes,
they don't be thinking about that too. Like that shit can bring so many fans to the sport.
hey, I want to ask Bodywork though. You think Spence got a chance in the rematch with Bud?
How can I say it? I think I had the verbiage right. Let me get my verbiage right. What I can say is that it may be one of those cases where Bud ultimately just got his number. Because
Yeah.
again, the first time I ever heard it, this was like at the press conference when Spence said, "Yeah, you might got more skills than me, and you might."
That's
And I looked,
crazy. That
I
was
said,
crazy.
"What?"
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, it was some things that came out like right before. I was like, man, that blew my mind. I said, what?
He
So
a
my
few
thing is
times
this.
he said stuff like that too.
Yeah, my thing is this.
Bodywork. He gave him the energy right there. He made Bud feel like, oh yeah, I got him already. Like he had to make him feel like that. Like when you saw Bud fighting, like he looked so comfortable. He looked like he was ready. He looked like he already had him before he even got in that ring.
I'll
Just
put it
based
like this.
on those words.
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. I think that if Spence, because no fight is gonna be 100%. I think that if Spence is in better shape, the fight could be more competitive just by him being in a better status. But it may be that Bud just got his number. Some people just got some people's numbers. Like no matter how, no matter what,
Yeah.
it might be the way he just got his number. But I think it will be more competitive if Earl go in there healthier than what he did the first time. So I'm not saying he's gonna win. I'm just gonna say it might be more competitive if he's closer to 100 than what he was.
Right. And
So
I
what
think
what do you
everybody
guys
think
think?
that
So
too.
like he got the eye surgery, right? So we got to see if his reflex is gonna be well enough in that fight. Like we got to see that. We got to look out for that. But who is to say that? So Errol's always being like really big. We all know that. What's to say that at 154 he's like at his best?
They been was saying that they said he should have been doing that.
He
It was
started.
almost like the Devin situation, except
He's
for it
I
was
think
almost
Devin will be good at
Devin
147. That's his weight.
huh?
I think Devin at 147 he will be like he and Boots will give a good fight at 147. I think so, in my opinion.
Spence started at 154 anyway.
Who?
Errol Spence, he started at 154.
His
Why the
first
fuck
fight.
he went down?
His first fight. Well, a lot of guys do that though. Like a lot of guys do that. I think people are getting real extreme. These boxers are coming out and they're going down 3 weight classes. Like to be honest, Bud came down. He dropped way lower than what he could. He on record said that he would go 2 days without eating and stuff like that. In his own words. So
Yeah.
these guys drop down way below when they first come in. But you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Normally,
Even Hitchens not wanting to rehydrate. Like it makes me wonder, like how much do you really rehydrate on day night on fight night? You feel me?
Yeah.
he outside. I think he ain't as extreme as Devin, but he outside and he really should be fighting that. I look at it like all these guys should be fighting at least 1 weight class above where they at, except for the guys that walk around closer to their walk around rate, and that's their power. But
Yeah.
um,
Nah, that's true.
we're not gonna see the best Hitchens until he get to 47.
He dude ain't got no power, man. He overrated to me.
Who Hitchens?
Yeah, as soon as he fights somebody like that
Nah.
fight, bro.
He better than Devin.
Nah,
Hey,
I
I mean
don't
in the
think so,
amateurs
bro.
though, like but if body work. If we look in the amateurs, Hitchens, the only top fighter right now that he beat was Gary Antoine. He lost to the others.
I don't dude is over. I'm telling you, you gonna see eventually, man.
Nah, I don't think he's overrated. I
As
think he
soon
was
as he
just too
step up,
young and learning still.
when he step up, he gonna be. I don't want to say exposed, but we gonna see where he really at, and he ain't one of them dudes, man. I'm
I
telling you.
think at 147 he will be good.
My man Aaron Jones be saying that he be on my man Hitchens like that. I rock with him. I don't know. Maybe he knows something we don't know because he did get out of that line. You know what I'm saying? I just know he nice. I see flashes. I think in a way, I think that he's still developing in a way. I think he's
Yeah.
still. He
Nah, but
might
he
be
did got hurt his last fight. He got hurt.
Who?
Hitchens. I
You
think he
talking
got caught with an overlap. Like I think he got caught with a hook, like throwing a jab, and he got hurt.
Y'all ain't see that clip. You know how Tank, like when he was on the pads punching quick as hell, right? With the that fat trainer he be training with.
Yeah.
The same trainer, Hitchens. I don't know if y'all seen the video, but he went up to the ring where Tank was in, telling Tank to touch his gloves. Then he gonna blow it off like they was on fire, and then
And then he fucked up.
put it in the side. Yeah, then he gonna try to punch like Tank. Boy, that shit looked terrible. He embarrassed himself.
And he fucked up too. He missed the shots
He
and
was
all that.
slow,
Oh my god.
and he missed the shots. And the dude was like, "Man, I do what you meant." Like, dude treated him like he ain't on that level, bro. He embarrassed himself right there. Like that.
Nah, he did. He did look at him weird. He told him like, "Dude, I told you wasn't ready." Like, oh shit.
What you say, body work?
I said I ain't see it.
Yeah, look that up, bro. That shit is embarrassing. I'm like, this dude clowning, man.
I mean, I think they was just joking around, but you know.
But that was real work. That was we're in the gym.
I don't think. Yeah, but in the gym you work on your flaws. You feel me? Like that's what the gym for. You work, and you gotta show it on fight night. That's why, like, when people say like fighters like Sanders Sayers he's fighting low competition, bro. That dude just touched 21 years old. He's been fighting since 16. At 17, he had to go up to 147. At 18, he had to jump to 154 because he kept growing. He couldn't stay on the weight. But you see the training in the gym. When he goes to the ring on fight night, you could see it. When Bud Crawford, you see the highlights on the gym, you could see them on the ring, just like Boots, Canelo, Mayweather. Like those are stuff I look for. If you could translate what you do on your workout and getting better on fight night, that to me lets me know you're working.
What's your thoughts on Tszyu, Ghost? Your
on Tszyu, I respect Tszyu.
Where do he stand in 140?
I think he's the third best champion on God.
Behind who?
Haney and Matias. See, Kambosos was able to counter Tszyu easy because his aggressiveness. I think,
Tszyu
and he be off balance. Tszyu be off balance. If you notice, when Tszyu got dropped with Sander and Kambosos, he was off balance because he was trying to get in because they were longer and they were moving a lot. That's why he got dropped. I think Haney is a better counterpuncher than both, in my opinion.
Yeah,
see, that's just me. That's what I see.
To me, they're gonna have to fight Tszyu, Matias, and Devin to prove.
Oh, they all gotta see each other. It don't matter if they lose. They all gotta see each other.
Cause Tszyu, like he been moving away from Devin since 135, but Tszyu at 140 is better than Tszyu at 135. So,
I don't think so. Actually, I don't think so.
Yeah, he way better at 140.
No, he not. How? His power don't look to be there. Let's be honest.
He's just a better fighter at 140.
No. His power don't look to be there. His face is being busted a lot. I think at 135, Tszyu was dangerous, bro.
Say body work.
I think he's fighting better competition at 140 because even though it's a difference, man. Like guys that's not as good skill wise, but that's bigger, it's a difference, man. So you're gonna see that a little bit to begin with. But I think the jury's still out. I think he's one of them guys to where, depending on how his mind, if he's up for a fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Taylor was like up for a year and a half too. We gotta see that. Your body's not gonna respond the same way.
Yeah, body work. I feel the same way. When it all depends who he fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's because it ain't no telling what Tszyu gonna show up. That's how I feel.
Nah, they all gotta see each other though. Like they all gotta stop like all the chatter online. They all gotta sign that paper and fight.
How you see Haney? How you see Haney and Matias going?
I think Matias gonna come out like Dadashev, like pressuring him. But Dadashev was boxing nicely in that fight in the first 3 rounds. But he couldn't keep Matias away. So
I think
I
Haney
see it the same. I don't think Haney can run all fight and counter Matias if he can hurt him.
I think Haney outboxing because Haney like when I see with Haney at 140, it's like it ain't all about power. You know what I'm saying? He know how to hit you, get out of there. He quick with that, bro. And I just feel like you're not finna just land on him like that. He too fast.
Yeah, Crawford was a bad matchup.
You can't read too much into that Regis fight though. I ain't gonna lie, boy. I ain't no Regis.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I ain't know he was like that. I thought he had a game plan.
Right, I feel you on that. I was just like how Haney he way better at 140 than he is at 135. And I think that Lomachenko fight taught him something. I think he leveled up after that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I like to see him against Matias though, but I think Devin will win. I'll bet like 100 on that. I'll bet 100 on Devin.
Well, we're gonna see against Sandor because Sandor can actually box. You know what I'm saying? That man can box. So we're gonna see, and he a southpaw. We're gonna see.
Yeah. You think that's who he gonna fight next?
I think he got to.
Yeah. But he was definitely gonna beat Ryan too.
Yeah, I mean, he was, but I mean, he should have. That's why I say, man, he should have took the bag. He should have been reasonable, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Ryan would have took it. I think it was on. I think it was on them being too. They got a history of being too difficult, man. They always asking for something and trying to play these games. And I'm like, it's going to run out, man. When you don't got the numbers to back up that kind of behavior, you could be the best fighter in the world. Ain't nobody going to touch you, man.
Yeah, they probably should have locked that in quicker, right away. Lock it in.
Because you need the name. At this point, you done brag so much about how much money you made. Now you actually kind of need some more names because when you hold everything up to the light, man, it's a little funny, man. It's a little funny, man. But I wasn't gonna stay on here long, man. I'm glad you came on here because now I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get so heated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hearing from the other side, and I understand what's going on. So
for sure, I appreciate coming on too, man.
Yeah, whenever I'm on, man, y'all welcome to come on and cook, man. And just I appreciate the support. My lady be telling me, man, you gotta go live more. I like doing my videos, but she like, you gotta go live. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll build it up.
Yeah.
Nah, but you're gonna do any live fights?
I went to the Tank fight. I went to the when he fought when he was in here, when he was out here in Baltimore. I did.
No, I think you mean like
no. I'm saying like when the fight's happen, like you gonna do a live stream?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go live.
Man, bro, I've been watching.
I'm gonna try to hop in and talk about the fight.
I've been going back. Last week I watched like 3-4 live streams. The Errol Spence and Crawford fight, man. Those live funny as hell. Like Fanon and all them. That shit is too funny. Even in the comments, you could see like the beginning, what they were saying. Oh, Spence, this he ready, Bud this, and what like when he started dominating, then you start saying, oh, his gloves loaded. Oh, he waited. You start hearing all the excuses that they made after the fight, right in the comment section, bro. It was crazy. It was funny.
Nah, that'd be crazy. I'll be going back to see mad fights, bro.
But yeah, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live on the fights, man. I'll let y'all know. I'll put a little reminder out in the early in the day that I'm gonna go live when the fight happens.
Yeah, for sure. Shit, try to do that Rolly and what's the name fight, man? The Rolly and Cruz.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna buy that pay-per-view, bro. Because if the title not on the line, bro, what? Like,
that's pay-per-view,
come on, bro.
They put that on pay-per-view.
Yes, that's pay-per-view.
I be saying I ain't gonna buy, but I always end up doing it. So I'm gonna.
Nah, but if it's not for the title, like why would that be pay-per-view though? I think Rolly and Cruz are gonna be a good fight. Yeah. I think Cruz gonna get him up out of there.
But we don't know what the price point is. The price point might be different. But then you gotta. The way I look at it is, there's people on the undercard It's bosses
Yeah.
that need to get paid. So it ain't just the main, because there's a lot of people, man. If we don't support the fights, you know what I'm saying? If we don't support them, if the because look, this is how it's gonna work. When with just a limited amount of dates, they're gonna have to stuff these cards. So they're gonna have, or it's not gonna work.
See, they late too coming in this year, so you right
so
about
yeah,
that.
and it's late. So you gotta support the fights, because the undercards gonna have fighters that we want to see still be in the game. If we don't do that, man, they ain't gonna put nothing on we want to see.
Yeah.
Nah, and PBC put a good card when they put Matias versus Ergashev, Charlo versus Jose Benavides, whatever, Benavides versus Dimitri. That was a good card right there. Like, they got to do that more.
They're gonna have to.
I'll be like, yeah, I ain't finna get it, but the day of it, I'll be like, hell no, I gotta get that shit. I'll be getting all the fights.
Now I'm gonna try to get it, because if Butterworth going home at night, we can all talk boxing right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna have it, but shit, I'm gonna lay it down. I gotta get up at 30.
Yeah, for sure, man. Salute, y'all. Good luck.
But I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for hopping on, man. Anytime.
Yep.
Hey, that was a good chat, bro. See you later.
All right, Ghost. All right, Bud's gonna stop Canelo. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
All right. But yeah, we got a good Lord. We got some understanding, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's always good, man, to talk to people with different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? And some things you just gonna see it one way, they're gonna see it one way. But as long as y'all can hash it out, that's what it's all about. We get understanding, and then we know how. Okay, well, when we link up and we put all our energy and effort there, we're gonna be effective. You know what I'm saying? So learn something new every day and we grow. You know, didn't really plan on being here that long, but it is what it is. Anyways, y'all, thanks for tuning in here at Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.